Are you ready to fill the shoes of Tony Stark, a multi-billionaire playboy who almost dies a lot but never quite does? Until, you know. Are you ready to suit up as Marvel's famous Avenger and superhero Iron Man, who for some reason can't use his legs while wearing his armor? Can you deal with Nick Fury's dramatics?
Tony, this is a terrible idea.
Is there enough variety in what is basically a VR wave shooter with nice looking levels to keep you hooked throughout the 5 to 10 hour campaign? All those questions are answered and more in this review of Iron Man VR for the Meta Quest 2. If you enjoy my content, be sure to leave a like and subscribe as I have lots more VR to show you. Let's get into it. After the recent announcement that Meta has now acquired VR developer Camouflage, they also announced the previously PSVR exclusive Iron Man is coming to Quest to add to its ever-growing library of VR exclusives. At the end of the video, I'll also share if previous owners of Iron Man on PSVR should bother picking up Iron Man again for the Quest. The story sees you as Tony Stark dealing with a murderous AI formed in his own image. While that's happening, you're also dealing with a baddie only known as Ghost who wants you to pay for your crimes against humanity due to the Stark Industries making weapons of mass destruction. This couldn't have all happened at a worse time, as Tony has only just decided at this moment to stop making weapons and use his technologies for world peace.
Sorry, Howard. We did things your way long enough.
I really enjoyed the story. Even though the game itself is up and down in terms of gameplay enjoyment, the parts of the game where you are Tony Stark wandering around his underground lab or at his Malibu home or Stark Tower look really great. The attention to detail is awesome in these locations, and there's plenty to mess around with. I found myself eating sandwiches, making protein drinks, and doing pull-ups and boxing simply because I could. You can customise your loadouts with lots of different weapons and suit add-ons which affect the gameplay style during the missions. And I love all the different Iron Man suits you can use. There is to memory I think 24 of these, and half of them are locked away behind challenges. I found these challenges a massive pull for me, and I didn't want to put the game down, especially trying to get 5 stars on 5 different missions to unlock the Patriot suit, which looks really badass. The characters, the dialogue and the voices are all very good.
I can reduce my drag coefficient by 10, maybe 10.5%.
Okay, should I be writing this down?
No need. I've got a mind like a steel trap.
Yeah? When's my birthday?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Pepper, you're cutting out.
When you're actually being Iron Man, I think this game makes complete sense in VR and feels right at home on Quest. The way the HUD sits on top of your face to simulate being inside Iron Man's helmet is really awesome. Combine that with flying by using the jets in Iron Man's hands, when it all clicks, it can feel really special. Fans will love visiting locations such as Tony Stark's Malibu home, Stark Tower and S.H.I.E.L.D.'s helicarrier. And there's also some witty humour in here that I know Marvel fans really enjoy. There is 10 missions throughout the game. 2 of these are rehashed environments, which is the only time I ever felt a little bit bored. Luckily, there is enough special moves and weapons that you have to do as Iron Man that does keep the combat interesting, other than just pointing your hand forward and shooting a lot. You can do jet punch, ground pound, and then you've got all the special weapons that are hidden inside the top of your wrists. My personal favourites are the Gatling gun and the missiles for the lock-on. If I had any complaint about the graphics and experience of Iron Man on Quest, it would be the scaling. Basically, your arms and hands just feel that little bit too big. Does it affect gameplay? No, it doesn't, but just expect when you look down at your hands that they kind of look pretty swollen. When it comes to replayability, there are 4 levels of difficulty available, but casual players I feel will only play this game once, maybe do some challenges, and then walk away with a really good memory of what the game was. But if you're really into this game, I think the hardcore gamers will actually enjoy doing the challenges, trying to get all 5 stars, so they can unlock every single suit variety and every single weapon available. If that's you, I do feel this game will give you over 10 hours of gameplay. My gameplay took around 5 hours, but that was on the normal setting, and I did do at least 3 or 4 of the challenges to unlock extra Iron Man suits. The game is actually its own worst enemy, because the opening level, which sees you save Pepper from a terrorist attack, is arguably the best level in the whole game.
Guys, I can't steer!
Sir, the aileron on the left side has been damaged.
Is that fixable?
I'll have to wing it. Get bent! That looks better.
It will give you such a high playing this level. Me personally, I absolutely loved replaying this, and it was just as good as I remember on PSVR, if not better, because now we have 360 tracking on the Quest. After that, it's quite a slow-paced story, and even though the combat is quite enjoyable, it can get slightly repetitive. If you really want to get the most out of this game, constantly mess around with loadouts throughout your playthrough. Don't wait to spend your tokens. Get in there, start messing around, use 2 different loadouts as much as possible, and just make your most of the time. Because once the story is done, as I said earlier, I do feel you might put this game down and not go back to it again. Unfortunately, I haven't received my press kit for Iron Man VR. So previously on PlayStation VR in dollars, it was $39.99 for the standard edition and $49.99 for the digital deluxe. Now, I don't think there's any digital deluxe edition, so I would suspect $39.99, which seems quite hefty for this game now. I know back in 2020 it might have seemed like a reasonable price back then, plus it was a physical edition, as now I just think this game is more around the $24.99 mark, and I really do hope that is the price. But as I said, I don't know the price, so I can only tell you what I think of the game as it is. I would buy Iron Man VR. I think it's a very good game. I think there's not much replayability for me as a player, but I did really enjoy the experience, and I think being Iron Man in virtual reality makes complete sense. It's good fun with a good story and well worth your time for a playthrough. For those on PSVR, I honestly don't think there's any reason to come back to this on Quest apart from the tracking. That is the only reason. Having joysticks, having 360 tracking, and to be fair, on PSVR the tracking was actually really good for the now ancient Move controllers. There is one thing I need to mention, and that's the level load times. They have dramatically improved. Hopefully it's helped you make a decision on whether you're going to purchase this game, so be sure to check out more of my VR content via the end cards here, and I'll see you on the next video.